This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and today I want to talk about racing. I know, that's a big shocker, right? Talk about racing. Well, what I really mean is I want to talk about getting involved in a league or any kind of series, any kind of thing where it's going to be points paying over a period of time. And in my case, I'm talking about the iRacing GT3 Challenge Series. Now, this is a very exciting racing series for a few reasons. Number one, the BMW Z4 being added to the mix, giving it a 3-car class against the Roof and the McLaren. Now, I'm not going to just give you my entire races or just show you me driving. The point here is to look at this series and look at my approach to it, and even look at individual moments of the race to learn what we can take away from that to improve for next race, and so on and so on. So let's go ahead and take a look at week 1 and see how things played out. 20 seconds away from joining the race, 116 people. That's going to be, what, probably 3 or 4 splits. I got a qualifying effort in I'm pretty happy with, but I'll tell you what, they're running the classic version of the Glen. And in this combination with 3 different types of cars on the track, I've seen some incredibly tight lap times in qualifying and in practice. 118 people there. That was the final count. Go ahead and join. And I'll tell you what though, in practice, you could be a full second off the pace and still stay with the guys ahead of you. So what I'm expecting is the closest thing to a NASCAR race that you're ever going to get out of road racing. So we'll get to the racing here in a little bit. We'll have a little bit of warm-up, which I'm pretty warmed up, so I'll just jump in and I'll give you some of the highlights of the race or lowlights of the race. So it looks like I made it in the top split. I qualified with a 106.248. I'm up against guys running a 105.644. 21 is my number. So if you're new to iRacing and you don't know the way it works, ultimately I'm starting in 14th position, but I'm the 21st ranked driver. And ultimately, when you're running a series within iRacing, it comes down to a few things. You always want to protect your safety rating, so I don't want to get into too many incidents. Number 2, your I rating is what will rank you in the group amongst people, so you always want to get more points there. And then lastly, I want my series points for running in the GT3 Challenge. And that will come down to where I place against who is better or worse than me. I mean, ultimately, you always want to finish in the upper half, and if I'm sitting there with a number 21, I want to see as many numbers smaller than mine ahead of me, and as few numbers larger than mine ahead of me, if that makes any sense right there. So we're about 2 minutes away from going green, and when we do, I'll, again, show you some of the high and low lights. Oh, man! Oh! Sean, you idiot! Yeah, you gotta load your race set. So here I am, only a handful of laps into a 30-lap race, and I'm going to have to get into pit lane to get some gas. It is very important that at this time I take care of a few key issues. Number 1, I don't need tires, and I don't want my team taking the time to put them on the car. Number 2, I only need enough fuel to finish the race, not a full fuel tank, which is the default. Luckily, I have my button box program to be able to make these changes, so knowing I have a few laps to deal with it, I take advantage of the straightaways and make the needed pit stop adjustments. On the lap prior to my entering pit lane, there was a wreck that started just ahead of me and ended up hurting many cars behind as I passed through cleanly. Coming out of the pits, my entire agenda of the race had changed. It was to salvage as many points as I could and do whatever I could not to wreck the car and make things worse by losing safety rating as well. I came out of the pits in 13th and was all alone for a while. One by one, other drivers would find trouble, and I would end up picking up the tail of Claudio Herraros, who was injured and a lap down, but running fast. I want to thank Claudio for helping me run some pretty fast laps as we ran by injured or spun out cars until somehow I was running 9th place 5 seconds back of John Kuzlin, a longtime friend and a rival of mine. And then Claudio pulled out of the way and sent me out on my own. With only a couple of corners to go in the race, I was able to drive around John and finish in 8th place overall.
Yes. Whew. Not a bad recovery for that.
I want to congratulate Yuya Tanaka on the win, and rounding out the podium in this race were Keith Ritchie in 2nd place and Matthew Saboski in 3rd.
All right, I finished in 8th place because of some serious mayhem. There's some drops out there. Some guys lost position. I got towed all the way up to John Kuzlin for 8th place, it looks like. Well, that was helter-skelter. Good racing out there, though.
Yeah, it was good fun, Sean, as always.
So you can see some ruffled feathers out there on top of the server issues. But anyway, for me, that was a case of salvation. I made a mistake, loaded my qualifying trim, which was, what a blowout. How embarrassing. As you noticed, I did some control settings, got everything ready to go before I got into the pit, and then went ahead and came out, and just with that luck, it got me some points, and salvation, it should be good points, but I feel kind of bad about it for some guys out there.
So ultimately, in the end, this was not a good race for me, and honestly, I'm a little embarrassed by my rookie mistake. But in the end, my perseverance, not making any mistakes, and bringing home an 8th place ended up being a very good finish, even though I don't think I really earned it. But in the end, it was a good result. Now, there are a few things we can take away from this. Number 1, race prep. It is very important to load your race set if you run different one in qualifying. I have written myself a note and put it on my rig to help prevent this mistake in the future. Number 2, having your buttons mapped. I would spend an additional 20 seconds on pit lane waiting for those tires and fuel. Being able to and knowing how to change my pit strategy directly earned me one more spot on the finish. Number 3, getting down pit lane safely. A black flag or a penalty on pit lane would have cost me at least that 8th spot and maybe more. Practice your pit entry, know the limit line and the speed prior to needing to use it in the race. And number 4, salvaging any good results that you can. I mean, in a long season, every point counts. And salvaging just a few more in every race rather than just quitting the game or overdriving or making mistakes out of anger will only haunt you in the end. So for me, after this race, I really had to look back, look at the points I'd earned. Even though I wasn't proud, these were the kind of points I wanted for week 1. So I took this as an opportunity to only run one race this week and focus for next week at Mossport. So I hope you've enjoyed my recap of race week number 1. Hopefully some of my errors will prevent you from making the same mistakes in the future. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.